All right, so today will be the first ever episode of Grond's Dojo. Today we'll be focused on the messenger, looking over clips in Autumn Hills. Going to be going over some Autumn Hills optimizations, figuring out what we can do. Afterwards, we'll be moving on to some climbing tips, then learning Hail Mary and R2N2. I'm very much looking forward to this. We're going to be giving it a go and see how things go. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so first off, we do have Mr. Belial. Gonna get some music going here in the background. All right, cool. And Belial's clip comes in. He asks to roast his Autumn. So let's go ahead and activate this. We got you all here in chat, looking good. Feel free to ask questions as we go, but I might miss them. I will be focused on the explanations here. I will be highlighting and uploading this whole thing as well. Time stamping it if I'm not lazy. So let's get right into it. Let us look at how Belial can improve his Autumn. Now, I know since he's uploaded this, he has added in some things already, but I think it'll still be really cool to kind of go over this. All right, let's do it. All right, so first off, looking good, getting all those time shards. Nice double turtle boost. You love to see it. Okay, so this is probably the first, like, really small thing. And this could have just been a subtle error. But you can, like, walk over here a little bit more. And just get a clean jump over this turtle. And then that allows you to get all of these time shards more consistently. Because here you did miss one, unfortunately. It ended up not mattering in this clip, but it is important to worry about those shards. Alright, so the blocks, we'll go over those in a second. I do have a clip. Nice double boost there. You love to see it. Nice slashes there. Overall, this was a really solid screen. But I thought it would be cool to pull up a clip and kind of go over this in a little bit more detail. So, this, I don't really want to focus on these front slashes and stuff because they're just kind of stupid. Like, they're incredibly precise to be able to get all the time shards, and most of the time you'll end up losing more time than you'll save. So I don't even go for them in runs personally, like the quad there. Now the blocks. This is where it gets interesting. So if you go the top route, it is faster, albeit a little bit more difficult. And this is actually a tip I wanted to mention because this is like useful everywhere. But slash early. Because your lingering slash will reach this block. And if you think of it in this way, like, you're basically starting to kill the blocks sooner. Which means that you're able to kind of get through there quicker without getting held up on the block as you're trying to finish it off. So I go up here, I get that lingering slash. You can kind of see where I started there. I get the hit, first hit. Once that hit registers, I'm doing, like, manual on my control stick. I'm not using, like, a turtle boost thing. Because you can see I'm actually looking left for quite a few frames. That's perfectly okay for this. And then the turtle boost pulls me in. That third slash kills this block and is the first hit on this block. So then as soon as you get in here, you could just go for another turtle boost. You could either run through or do little hops just to make sure you don't fall in there. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, then get one more, of course, boost on the way out. So that's a cool optimization. I know you've been working on it, Belial, so hopefully having that in slow motion to go back and look at might prove to be helpful there. All right, let's continue. Yeah, the runs come a long way, although all this stuff is definitely not needed. Playing in simplified Chinese language is a little bit faster if you want a little free time save there. Okay. So now this is one of those subtle things, right? Very subtle. But in this situation, I actually agree with not kick boosting because setting up a kick boost actually takes a bit of time. And you're going to be landing very quickly anyways. But anyways, when you're coming up on a climb like this, you actually want to land as quickly as possible. So right here, I would slash. And yeah, that's essentially just to land quicker. Because anytime you're coming out of a kick, even if you kick boost it, you're not moving at full speed. Whereas as soon as you land, you'll be moving at full speed. It also just means you could jump down to this pit a little bit cleaner. But you get a really clean jump anyways. This is the other thing of this screen. So I will be pulling up the game, I think, to demonstrate some stuff in this screen. But if you'll notice in your clip here, you kind of jump and grab the wall and then do a neutral kick boost, right? Which neutral kick boost just means that he grabbed the wall, he let go of left or right, pushed kick, and then held right after the kick was performed. This does give you more momentum going to the right, but the slow part was grabbing the wall. Yeah, it is, Bilal. The ground boost is better. Okay. Although it's like minuscule, it's not too important. So let's pull up the game. And I want to demonstrate a couple things in this first screen. Okay. So this is what I was talking about with this climb. Just land as soon as possible. So you could slash to kind of like extend the ninja's feet out. That way that you basically reach max speed sooner than this part. All right, so if you're holding left or right as you're approaching a wall, let's see if this works actually. Okay, I won't be able to do it like that. All right, that's fine. Essentially, if you're within a half a tile of a wall and you're holding left or right, you will kick off of it. So yeah, that's how I think of it, as half a tile. If I'm a full tile, it won't work. You see, it's like maybe like 3/4 a tile. You're really trying to min-max it. And also, I find that being in the spinny boy animation kind of messes it up. So I like to initiate this kind of movement with this jump slash, just to make sure that I'm not in spinny boy, because it can screw it up. So I think for consistency, I would just jump and do it like that. And to make that happen, you can't do a neutral kick boost, because you have to, like I said, be holding left or right to kick without grabbing the wall. So I would actually do it manually, like just quick left, right, like that. And if you want to optimize it even further, land as quickly as possible afterwards. That's even more subtle, but it is important tech to just remember the sooner you land in every situation, the better. So that's like really fast as compared to what you were doing, which is more like that. You could just see the difference in speed visually without even needing to kind of time it. And this isn't that hard to do. Like, you're almost to the wall, just do left jump. And then back to the right. Sometimes, like, there I got a right kick. I didn't get a kick boost. But yeah, and then just tap A in like this specific jump, because you don't need to get a lot of height. You could just land real fast and go into the next screen. All right, let's continue. Now, I won't go over this boost because I know you already learned how to do it, but yeah, you could turtle boost on that guy. This is the next, like, really useful tech that can help a lot of people. This simple screen, like, can be done 0.4 faster, believe it or not. Like, this very simple screen, 0.4, can be saved in here. And that's one thing I wanted to show here. This should be the clip. Okay. So, I want to talk about slash jumps. Now, here's what it looks like in real time. You could just already see how much faster that is. And I'll do it in slow motion to explain kind of what's going on here. So my goal is to turn into a spinny boy, like around here. As soon as I clear this ledge, you slash. See, I just pushed X. And what this does is it extends your feet down and you instantly touch this platform, reaching a state where you can jump. So what I do is I roll my finger next frame. See, that's actually frame to frame, although it doesn't have to be that tight. Like, I could push X and then A like a few frames later. It doesn't really matter. This is just the most optimal. And you just do that motion, just XA, if you're on default controls, or just, you know, slash jump. And then immediately hold right. And you get this just super clean movement. So again, one more time in real time. Bam. You could just see how quick that is. And that's like a 0.4 save in this room. Just working on optimizing this one movement. That's not even too difficult. To get it that tight is pretty difficult. But it's not necessary. Like, just try to start incorporating slash jumps where you can. And you'll start saving time. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Okay. So this room here. This is a very complicated room to choose. Like, what to do. But I wanna kind of point out some things and then show some different ways that you could consider going about it. Because I think in the end, speedrunning this game a lot of times is knowing all the options that are available to you and then like handpicking the ones that you feel like you're gonna be able to do or like be consistent at. So the first thing is I tested this turtle boost, and that actually loses time. Believe it or not, or breaks even at best. And the reason is because when going for a turtle boost, you want to land like as quickly as possible after, because when you change directions in the air, you lose your max speed until you land. And as you can see here, you hit this and you're just floating up in the air in a while. You can even see the background, how much faster you start moving once you land there. Now, that second turtle boost is great. It's perfect. This same deal. I know that part of this is for positioning. But, yeah. The good trick with this is to hold, like, just tap A, and you'll just go over the turtle. And then you can get a nice double there as well. Which will make that movement just a little bit better. And then nice boost there at the end. All right, so I got some clips here. This is like the clip version of this screen that I would recommend to people. So let's go here. So jump here, do a little hop, jump there, jump in between, and then get one turtle boost. This is like the most consistently, like, just saves time. And then, yeah, that double. So with this double, I just want to kind of go over that. Like, you just tap A. And then that way, when you go for this turtle boost, you're in position for it, you know? And also, you're landing faster. The higher you jump, the longer it's going to take you to land, the longer it's going to take you to reach top speed again. And this fireball, you don't even have to worry. It's like it doesn't exist. Like, when you turtle boost here, the lingering slash will get rid of this, and you could just spam slash, so it's scarier than it looks. And the rest of this is pretty much the same. Nothing really different. Okay, so this is going for those strats, but with one turtle boost. Just one. 25.26. Bonking the turtle. Okay, so guess we could look here. It looks like I get hit. I'm jumping about here. Full jump. And then I'm turtle boosting once I've, I guess, gotten a little bit higher than the turtle. I guess this is probably what keeps you from bonking on the turtle, is because the ninja's a little bit higher than him already. I turn invincible here because of iframes. And you can see, like, I'm not even close to hitting this turtle. Like, I have a lot of room for error there. The important thing is just to make sure that you don't exit Spinny Boy early. Because, like, if I slashed or something, like, my feet might even touch him, even this high. But yeah, hopefully that helps. So now here's, like, stage 2, if you want to save even more time. This is a cool idea I came up with. Just double back boost, man. Now, the trick with this... let me find the setup here. So land here. Jump there. Go for a back boost. Right about here. And this is the hardest part of if you go for both. Now, it's optional. You know, you can mess with this stuff. But you want to jump right before you reach this guy. And you'll make it over that turtle. Now, if you're... either your boost sucked or you jumped early, you'll bonk on this turtle, and you'll still move you to the right, so it's actually not that bad. The worst thing that could happen is you run into the grub. That's the biggest loss. But then you could kind of, like, front boost and back boost with iframes through the turtle without jumping, if you really want to, try to make up for it. And the rest of the screen's exactly the same. Finishing time, 25.07. So adding in that extra boost realistically saves like 0.16. I think that just the overall boosts were a little bit different. That's why there's some variance. Then there's this method. This is the original Hall of Fast method, roughly. I don't recommend this. But, you know, I just as well show it. This is a quad while trying to stay as low as possible so that I touch the ground. And then, yeah, the rest of the room's the same. 24.99. So you can see this does not save that much time for how much difficulty it adds. And finally, I got a new Hall of Fast time. This is really advanced. Highly do not recommend this. I would not go for this in runs. This version. So I'm doing a very low quad to land on the ground. You can see I actually land here for 1 frame so that I get max speed again, which makes this quad even harder to hit. And then there's this very advanced movement. This turtle boost is incredibly precise. And I have a video on my Twitch highlighted called Turtle Science that explains why I do this movement. But essentially, if you change directions frame to frame, like right 1 frame, left the next frame, you get a bit of a drift where you keep some of your speed forward. So I do the direction change right before landing to take advantage of the drift. I touch the ground, move right. It puts me back at top speed. Then the last few frames of my lingering slash, I'm able to jump up, hit the turtle, activate Spinny Boy, perfectly go over the turtle at the lowest possible point, and then get another turtle slash landing instantly after. This is the absolute most optimal way you could go about this turtle, but good luck. Good luck. But I just wanted to show it off. And this is what I was, the main point I wanted to bring up with this was just, this is why you have to curate strats, because this strat is just ridiculous. It's good to know it exists. It's good to maybe try it out. But you have to, as a runner, go through these like 4 variations and decide what you want to do and what is like getting you the most time. Because you can see a lot could go wrong with this. It's extremely hard. I'm only saving like 0.3 over just going for like, you know, this much more simple version where I just hit 2 back boosts, right? It's like 0.2 or it's like 0.3 difference, and just going for a regular double there. So like this would be more of like what you do in a run, in my opinion. But again, I encourage you to experiment. See what you like. Okay, so you did a good drop there. We'll keep moving on. Coming up, we got a room that I think will be really fun to go over. So this is the first like subtle mistake of this room. Is it's easy to place too much value on this stuff because it moves you forward more. Like here, you should be spamming swim because you want to cut this corner as tight as possible. That's more important than like getting over here. So you want the line to be like this instead of like this, because that's like wider. You can see how you kind of go wide instead of cutting it like really close. You could just kind of spam A like around here and just go up. Another really subtle thing. You want to jump here just so that you fall and get this health sooner. Now here, you don't... It's actually really interesting how this works. You don't want to jump here. And the reason is because if you just... Like, for one, you can't do the jump, like, preemptively. Like, there you had a lot of room to do the jump, set it up. Here, you're, like, already at the edge. So, it's actually really nice to just walk off. It's, like, really fast. Then, of course, hold down here. I think you... Yeah, you are. Just to get to this water quicker. Also, be holding right here. You notice you're holding left for some frames? You want to be holding down and right so that your path looks more like this. Like a curve. That corner was pretty good. And yeah, that's the problem with why you didn't make the cycle. Those few subtle adjustments. Alright, so to show an example of this, I have the Hall of Fast clip from... Okay. Loremi. Okay, so we'll do this. And you can see he probably goes for all these things. Yep, cutting that corner tighter. He doesn't do the hop there, but it is better. He doesn't need it, though. You'll see he ends up being way faster than he needs to be anyways. Again, though, he walks off this, holds down, cuts that tight, cuts that tight. You can see that's one thing is he was actually too close. So he let go of left for the slightest amount there so he wouldn't bonk the saw. Now, this is actually one thing that I realized was he could have done better in the Hall of Fast. But you want to push swim like right here. Like right when your face touches this like seaweed or whatever. Because if you watch, he actually does bonk on this corner for like 3 frames. Really minor. But yeah, if you push swim here, when your head touches this spot, you'll perfectly weave in and get the damage boost through. Is it better if you get the left boost to let it go? Like in the butt boost room. That I don't know. I think because you bonk on the ceiling, it just kind of instantly takes you out of it. But that would be something worth experimenting with. But it's definitely not something I've thought about. I don't think it would work, but you could mess around with it. But typically, you just instant recover here, and of course go in the next room and just cut the corners tight. Okay, so. Good, cutting the corners tight there. That's fine. The movement that you did there is perfectly okay. This is all like textbook perfect, pretty much. Getting those shards, you love to see it. This is all excellent. You do these Firefly room actually really well, but I could teach you a cool little tip here. Is land a little more to the right. and jump to the right. Actually, let me just pull up the game because I can show this a little bit better. Let's see, Autumn Hills, up 2. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say: is you kind of jump to the right, like you're already jumping up there, and then you tap left to actually hit the fly, like that. And the reason is these things actually turtle boost you, believe it or not. So you can actually get like a really tiny turtle boost off this. It's really subtle. But yeah, basically just turtle boost off this thing. And be more to the right because your slash reaches out quite a ways, right? So you could kind of already be heading to the right. Really subtle. Yeah, like that, I guess. So you would just turtle boost, jump turtle boost it. Like that. I think actually, yeah, no, what I do now that I think about it is some of the stuff's muscle memory, so I have to decode it. Is I go to here and then I jump left and turn right. Because then you're kind of getting the turtle boost movement, but without, I mean, you could do it either way. Whatever feels comfortable. You could just do literally a turtle boost input. Like, it doesn't really matter. You could jump, push left, slash, and then go right. Or you could just jump right and turtle boost it. Yeah, it's really a subtle thing. That's why I like to point out all this kind of stuff, because I think it's good to know about, if nothing else. And those really subtle things matter. Like, that could be like 0.3 difference in that room, just cutting it tighter to the right and getting a boost on that guy. Really subtle. I mean, this room's like, you know, perfect. Don't need to do anything crazy here. You do this room really well also. Really nice. You can kick boost. Do that reverse kick boost thing if you want. Where you just change directions before hitting that. But really not a big deal. Really subtle, and this is something I wanted to implement myself. But the closer you land to this corner, the better. Because you just reach max speed sooner. It's a frame saver. Just really subtle. I really like how you handle that room. Now, this room is pretty big. This is like one of those secret rooms that can go much faster. Like, I think the Hall of Fast that I have is like a second and a half quicker. So I really wanted to go over this room. And not everything I do in the Hall of Fast, though, is reliable. And I'll point out what I recommend going for, and you could probably still save like a second here. So, okay, first thing. I do a kick boost here. It technically saves some frames, but you don't have to. This, again, the slash jump. Like, just get up here and push slash and jump, man. And this saves so much time, man. And then this movement is really tricky. I recommend practicing this a lot if you want to implement the way I do these kicks. But you can't do these two kicks as fast as possible. The second kick has to be slightly delayed. The reason is you need to milk a little bit more height from the first kick so that you're actually able to not only get up here, yeah, basically just so that you can reach this wall. That's the reason. And you want to actually grab the wall. And then kick to the right. And then you'll get up here. Now, this does skip some shards, but you had way more than enough shards. Like, with proper strats, you can sacrifice these shards just fine to save, you know, a nice chunk of time. Now, if you struggle with that, you could jump to there, and then jump over and still skip these shards. I highly recommend it. Now, this boost right here, I also highly recommend. This is a really good one. And I want to go over like how I do this boost. I kind of fall a little bit more to the left. And what I do is while I'm going down and to the right, I push slash. Like I kind of cut this angle, start hurting right, slash, and then I just naturally turn left and push jump. And what's so nice is you don't have to wait all the way until you land on this ground. And you get a turtle boost. So it's like 2 time saves for the price of 1. You could do the same thing on this turtle, but this makes getting up to the block a bit trickier. Because as you can see, you have to cut a really tight jump. And you could optionally block boost. That's pretty advanced though, this last part. I would do that honestly the normal way. Unless you really want to go crazy. But these other movements, I highly recommend. You can kind of see, though, how I do that. Like, I'm pushing right, slash, and then I'm just changing to the left. Keeps this from being, like, some crazy movement. Where you have to, like, last second, you know, do a turtle boost input. And I'm doing that all manual. Just using the analog for me. You could use the D-pad, whatever. And I'm just right slash jump left. Or, you know, left and then jump. Okay, moving on. I think pretty much the rest of this is nice. Like, obviously, you know, you could have grabbed a couple more shards. Not really a big deal. I don't think there's anything else in this room that was really too big. Yeah, I mean, this is all good. Like, again, those subtle things, like, right here, just slash, just so that you land sooner. Also, you don't have to go as left as you did. Like, you can cut a tighter path, like, slash here, go there, and then, you know, jump over and hit the grub. You kind of went, like, deep. Really subtle stuff, you know? Like, you could see, like, you could have been, like, right here and already started doing stuff. Same with the lantern. Really subtle. But, you know, it's just frame savers I just want to point out. Like, that was perfectly a well-done room. This will just be stuff to keep in mind for next time. All right, so that's pretty much it. Really nice autumn, man. Like, and as an analog player, I know you're struggling with the shops, so I have no advice for shops. Just good luck. Really good autumn, though. As you can see, he did end up getting a let's see here. A 552. That is an excellent autumn time. Hey, Mish, thanks for the resub. I have notifications turned off because I'm doing an episode of Grond's Dojo for YouTube. Okay. So, Belial, I wish you the best in your autumn endeavors. If you all would be so kind and you want to, if you want to see Belial's journey to improve his autumn hills and overall gameplay, go give him a follow over there. Thank you very much for the submission. Very much appreciate it, man. I do, yeah, hope that helps out. And again, this will all be highlighted, and if I'm not lazy, I'll timestamp everything. So you could go over the specific little bits, but the big takeaway is slash jumps. Land as soon as possible in every situation if you're in the air. And if you're in the air and you know you came off a wall, like, landing is good. And then just cutting corners super tight, you know. I think that's like kind of the main takeaways for Belial's clip. Now, moving on, we have a post from Assassin Narga, who says, how do you approach jumping across gaps like this while in the middle of a rope dart climb? Shows a picture here of Autumn at this huge gap. And also jumping out of a rope dart climb in the opposite direction in general. So he's saying he's climbing up a wall and he like wants to jump left off this wall real fast. How do you do it? Notice a lot of times I would get a wingsuit when I try to jump out of a rope dart climb quickly, or I have to slow down to make sure I get a kick, which is slow. So, this one, I'm using a kind of, I'm assuming the strat he was going for here. And I wanted to show what it looks like to kind of cross some gaps. That climb wasn't perfect there at the end, but I mainly wanted to highlight how to deal with these gaps. And it's not easy. I'll just say that. It's really not easy to do it like this. But the goal is any wall that you know has a gap, you need to figure out the exact amount of jumps before you do the gap closing jump. So here you can see I rope dart to the wall. I'm pushing jump rope dart. Jump rope dart. Jump rope dart. And then I know that this is getting ready. So there's a slight delay. And then kick. And that's all from just like planning out your the amount of kicks that you're going for, which is a lot easier to do in these kind of short climb situations, because you could just think like jump rope dart, jump rope dart, jump rope dart, and then kick. But that's something really important. That's some advice I remember Kuningas gave me a while back too, is like actually count the amount of kicks you do and like care about that instead of just like mashing through it. Like, especially for these short little climbs. Like, you know, if it's a super long climb, I don't count, but for like these shorter like sections, I would think this out, especially if there's a gap I have to worry about. And then for jumping off a wall, that's kind of the next thing. So I actually had a cool video here that Bilal made for me. Of just grabbing this wall and then kicking off of it with different inputs. So first off, we have, I'm on this wall and I'm kicking left. And then it's neutral and then right. So this kind of shows you like the type of momentum and the type of kick you get coming off the wall. Well, if my VLC player doesn't want to crash. Okay, there we go. So you can see left makes it the furthest by far, and then neutral and right are incredibly similar. Holding right and kicking off the walls, obviously, that makes sense that it's the worst. Neutral makes it a little bit further, and then, like I said, left is the best. So ideally, when you're doing a rope dart climb and then you have to jump away from the wall, you do want to have the last kick be a kick facing away rather than like a neutral kick or something like that. Which was surprising to me. I actually thought the neutral kick would be just as good as the left kick, but it's not. So it's good to have this kind of data. So here's an interesting little bit. I wanted to show an example of like how you'd apply this in a real run situation. So here, what I do is, for this first iteration, is I kind of just go here. Let's do this frame counted. And I push jump rope dart a couple times, I think. Like 2 times. Let's see here. Yeah. There's the first time, second time. And now I do a slight delay. Kick. Go to neutral. And then get a rope dart kick. Because it basically, like, holding A is buffering the kick when your rope dart brings you back into the wall. But like this screen, you could look at this and go, well, for one, I didn't need that much height. So like 6 kicks in total, if you think, rope dart kick 3 times, that's 6 kicks, was too much height. So you have to decide, is your kick ending on a rope dart kick or a regular kick? And here it would be better to end it on a regular kick. So I'll show the next clip here. I didn't do anything else optimal in that room just because I didn't want the time variance to be too much. You can see that ended me with a 4.52 time. Now, here's this method. So what is this? Now, because I realized I didn't need that much height, I realized I wanted to end this climb on a regular kick instead of like a rope dart buffered kick. And the nice thing is, too, is you'll see here, I do a slash just because I don't know why. I feel like it helps me time this. Is I'm basically pushing left. Once I'm like kind of pulled back into the wall a little bit from the previous kick, I'm pushing left, slash, and jump. I don't really think slash is necessary, but you can play around with it. I feel like the slash somehow helps in this kind of scenario. And then I'm able to cut this tighter. So 4.26 versus 4.52. And that's all from just cutting out an unnecessary kick and making sure that when I kick off this wall, I'm holding left. So you kind of have to, you know, feel it out. And again, same thing as with closing gaps. You want to think, how many kick inputs am I doing over this entire climb? And planning it out is going to like do you a world of good. Like in Glacial, the very first screen, I jump to the wall, I do rope dart kick twice, and then a delayed kick, like slightly delayed for the 5th kick, and that gets me perfectly over that gap, like basically every time. So just experiment with your with it yourself, and any climbs you're struggling with, you want to optimize. Just, you know, think about those little details. I don't think Narga was able to make it. I know it's really late there. But if you want, Narga just started streaming very recently. He's got like 8 followers, but he's a really nice dude. He does Cuphead in the Messenger. And give him a follow if you so please. Okay, so next up, we got Waffles coming in. Said, I would like to ask for some preemptive help with Hail Mary, since I'm going to be trying it soon, and I know I'm going to struggle with it. So Hail Mary is a trick in Tower of Time. And I'll show here what it looks like. This is like the standard Hail Mary that I recommend people go for. The idea is that you take 4 points of damage from this laser, 1 point of damage from this projectile, and that will leave you with 1 health. I have infinite health on here because of debugger, but this will leave you with 1 health coming out of this room. So let's go over the important details of this. So ideally, rope dart climb like a mad lad, get up here, land on this as soon as possible, and then jump rope dart. This is the first important key element. The reason is the Wizrobe is going to be shooting its projectile around this time. And you want this projectile here aim to go down into this area so that you could damage boost off of it. So let's look at this again. So I get hit. I'm worrying about dropping. Making sure I'm not too close to this wall so I don't grab it. Rope dart through. Now here's something I do is you can notice when I go to drop off this, instead of holding straight down, I'm holding down right. And the reason is because that little bit of down right, like this, keeps you from getting stuck on this wall. And then you can turn back left right after. And so you still cut this corner as tight as you could, but it prevents any room for error to sticky ninja back onto this wall. The next key element is to jump up. Like, this is the perfect spot to get hit, is when your ninja is like at this little area. Let me see if I can see if this works. Yeah, anywhere in this area is like perfect. Because let's say that you get hit by the projectile like here. The problem is that the ninja will actually get damage boosted up here and get stuck on this wall, and that's really bad. Like, this is what is probably the easiest thing to mess up on this section. So it's really nice to jump up and get hit by that, and then just recover as fast as possible afterwards. You can see I'm pushing, you know, A. You could even press it a couple times to make sure you get it. So the next key element is to just land as soon as possible. So you're kind of like damage recovering, bonking on this, landing here. Jump. And rope dart, like, about here. You know, it could be a little lower. You don't want to jump super high or your rope dart will get trolled and you're kind of going slow at that point. As soon as you input this rope dart, let go of the directions. Go to neutral. And buffer in a kick. Let me see, actually. Look at this. I'm already holding... I already pressed kick. Actually, it looks like I pressed it right after, but... You can, like, as soon as this rope dart, you can just hold kick. Or press it a little later like I do. I pressed it, like, right here. There's the kick. But you could buffer that as well, to be honest. Okay, the reason I slash is to land as soon as possible. Again, getting max speed. Then, once you get close to the laser, rope dart. And then you're good. I do a cheeky little whiz rope boost because he was there. I mean, if he's there, why not? You gotta slap him, right? So let's go over this again. Again, key element is... damage boost at the top there. When you're dropping off these walls, do down and away to keep from sticky ninjing. Again, get a rope dart kick boost around this position. And then you're good. So now, let's see it one more time just without me pausing. All right. I want to go over some different things that could happen. The first one is the infamous laser whisper. What do you do when you just phase through the first laser? Here's the first thing. So you're going for it. You go right through. What you want to do is just wait right here. You could actually be a little closer if you want. And as soon as that thing blocks the laser, you go through. Just jump up into this. Damage boost, rope dart through. It's nice and easy. So basically, you turn it into a 1 damage boost. This is like a little bit slower, but it is easier for sure. As you can see, it's like a 1.5 seconds slower or so. Now, there's a really cool thing that can happen. I'll show this. If this, with a whisper. If the whiz robe is in such a perfect position, you could damage boost on the whiz robe. Now, why this is so exciting is because... yeah, there we go. You would come out of this room with 5 HP, and even with the -start damage boost, you get a guaranteed fridge connection if you get hit nowhere else. So this is actually, like, pretty insane. And it's only, like, 1.3 lost here. So really, really cool stuff. Hey, Sky, Mega Chancellor. Yeah, it's going good. Next up, what do you do when you screw this up? So you can see here, I screw it up pretty bad. I missed the projectile. So now it's like, okay, I messed up somewhere in this part. What do? I missed the projectile. I think the best thing to do is wait. Hope the whiz robe is closer. And just get here and damage boost through. It's kind of like a Hail Mary Jr. kind of backup. I'll show it again one time in full time. When you screw it up. See, if the whiz robe was closer, I wouldn't have to wait here that long. But you just as well go for it if you've already took the hit, right? Get something out of it. Now, I want to dispel some myths about Hail Mary, because there's myths that like you have to be some kind of rope dart climbing god, and like the movement is insanely tight. But check this out. So this is how lenient this actually is when you're doing the right things. So I do a normal climb. I even mess up an input, get a wingsuit, miss a kick. And I didn't even rope dart here. I literally walked through the laser. Like, this is how much leniency is in this, as long as you like take these tips to heart and really pay attention to the little details of like positioning and such. So Hail Mary's not too scary. I mean, you could die in it. It is kind of scary. But I definitely recommend this method. Like, what we used to do is we'd rope dart here and kick twice. That makes this so much harder. If you hate kick boosting, by the way, just rope dart and kick off this. Hold left the whole time. As you can see, with the kick boost, I have so much leniency that I can literally just walk through the laser. Like, my iframes are going to hold out through that entire time. So if you didn't kick boost, they wouldn't quite last that long. But you could just rope dart. Like when you get right around here, you just do a safe rope dart. You know, don't try to max range it. There's no reason to. You'll end up getting yourself killed missing the dart. You know, just go about here and go on through. So yeah, let's see that again. Again, no rope dart climb. I'm just kicking. But I'm getting all the important elements right. Now, I will say, this was a little harder to do without rope dart climbing. Rope dart climbing definitely helps, because it just gives you some leniency on stuff. Like, you're able to get everything to the places you need to be sooner. But yeah, I just wanted to show that there is room for error. There is room for... you know, you don't need this kick boost or anything crazy like that. Like, you could just hold left and then rope dart through. Like, it's fine. But yeah, avoid rope darting here and then doing 2 kicks. You really want this motion in 1 kick. That's the biggest thing about this. Okay, so hopefully that helps Waffles out. And then, oh yeah, I do have a bonus clip. This is for the mad lads that want to just do crazy stuff. But you can fast fall that. Good luck. I don't recommend this, because this makes the trick really hard and risky again. But yeah, you rope dart here, kick, neutral kick, go over, and you're still in Spinny Boy. You do a slash plus down A input, slash and then next frame down A, and you'll fast fall through this. You wait till you land on this, so that way when you rope dart here, you can drop instantly through. Because if you rope dart it a little bit higher, you'd have to drop off the wall or slide down a little bit, and yeah. Hey, welcome in, Wolf. Hurts your head, yeah. This is stuff just to specifically help these people, because like this is the level that they're at. So it's kind of tailored to each individual that's tutorial. But hopefully there's other people that can learn a thing or two from it as well. So we got one more thing to learn today. Sort of Alpha says, I don't really have a clip, as I can only do the regular into skip, but I was wondering if you could explain your R2N2 setup. So this is a setup Laremy came up with. I just kind of like refined it a little bit, I guess, for the fasts. So here's what he is talking about. Okay. So if we go here, I messed this one up. Ignore that one. Okay. So R2N2, here's what it looks like. This avoids having to do a 1 tile, which is a really kind of precise thing. So the specifics of this. You want to jump over this turtle and spawn this blue guy. If you can see him up there in the upper right corner, you can see his foot coming in. You want to spawn this guy as quickly as possible. Then when you land, or as you're landing, you want to slash to the right. So you're moving right, you're slashing. When you get to about here, okay, turn left and then let go. Now, this is the first thing that can go wrong. The reason I do this is to pull this turtle in, which makes the future inputs easier. But the first mistake you can make is going too left. Because look, this guy is barely on screen, man. Like, you could probably see his toe on the, up here. Yeah, I can't even go up there. My paint doesn't want to go that far. But yeah, you can see his toe is just barely up there. If you go a little bit more left, right? So, like, if I went to, like, here, in this region, this turtle would be despawned. And he's not going to shoot a projectile at the right time because of that. So I would imagine there's like an invisible wall here, and you just don't cross it, right? Like, just do not go over there. That's like the first really important thing when learning this setup. So anyways, you're slashing, you're turning it into him, you're pulling him in a little bit. Okay. One second, my VLC kind of died for a second. Okay, we're good. So, after you do that, give the slightest delay. I'm not worrying about this kappa up here at all. I'm just giving the slightest delay. And then I'm doing a jump slash. So I'm just pressing slash to jump on the same time. I'm falling back down a little bit. Let's actually go back. Okay, so I'm jump slashing. Right? I'm falling. And right before I touch the ground, I'm doing another jump slash, kind of aiming for the top of his back or his head, whatever you want to think about it. But you want to get the jump slash before touching the ground. This will kill him. Milk the height on this jump. Try to get as much out of it as you can. Height is key here. Then you just jump over. And there's actually quite a lot of room for error here. You will get this projectile in time. Go back left, because as you can see, if I jump now, I bonk this ceiling. And then cool optimizations, since you're going left already, do your slash before you turn. And what this does is when you turn back, you actually get a turtle boost on this switch. You can get that fireball. And because of this turtle boost on the switch, I'm able to reach this turtle sooner. So I can get an extra cloud step on him and get up here. If you really want to go crazy, you could slash jump here to get to this lantern sooner, but that's kind of hard, actually. But more importantly, let's just focus on the R2N2 setup rather than the follow-up. So that's what it looks like. Again, don't go too far left, pull in the turtle, and then just go for it. I am not using any visual cue on this turtle. I don't care about him at all. You just believe in the turtle that believes in you. Yeah, you just have to believe in the turtle. And the projectile will be there. As long as you went far enough right initially. So you can see I'm going to like the edge of this platform. And then I'm waiting here. Turtle's there. Don't worry about him. Just do this movement and go for this. Don't worry about any crazy timing. This is fairly lenient. Just go for it. And it'll work every time. Now, there is two things. Like, the hardest part of this trick, actually, is this second jump slash. So this input right here. This is the hardest part of this, for sure. So I have two backups that are incredibly fast if either thing goes wrong. So let's look at the first thing that can go wrong. So the first thing is that you slash too high. Like that. I stole that from Kyleberry. When he was messing with this, he found this backup, and it is sick. This backup is awesome. I love this backup. So, you miss it. So the turtle has 1 health, right? You just wait for the next projectile. Jump slash, get the projectile, go back to the turtle. Jump slash the turtle. So it's the same thing, except you're starting it on the projectile instead of on the turtle, since the turtle only has 1 health now. And then just go up. The projectile will be there. It just works out that way. This just works. Since that cap is always going to be on the same cycle, it's just it just times out to work that way. Now here's the other bad situation: is you kill the kappa and then somehow butcher the further movement. It can happen, or maybe like you landed on the ground and then you didn't get enough height to hit the switch, so you fall back down. That's a very common thing too, or can be. There's the backup. So the backup is you wait until this projectile is about here. Then you go left into that no-go zone that I talked about because it despawns the upper right kappa. And you come back on the screen right after. This lines these guys up so that you can use both projectiles to go for an old school 1-tile. Like an N2 backup. So again, here's what it looks like. Oh no, I killed the turtle. Oh no, I didn't get up. Despawn that turtle, respawn him, bam. So yeah, the important thing is just that you want to respawn this turtle, like I said, when that projectile is like touching this wall, basically. Turtles respawn, and this will line up the 2 projectiles. Double N2 is considered into V2.0. That's great. And yeah, that pretty much does it for all of the serious submissions of the first ever Grond's Dojo. So I hope that helps you all out. I will be highlighting and putting all this on YouTube and whatnot. Now, Pavi just came in, so you know what? We're going to do a bonus clip. I have this in a folder called Most Serious Submissions. So we're going to load up here. Pavi submitted a League of Legends clip who says, "Help me with my Ornn combo." Now, Pavi may be like Masters League and in a professional team in League of Legends, but clearly my Gold League skills are all I need to be a coach, right? That's what you do when you're in Gold League. You become a coach. So let's analyze Pavi's clip here. All right, so he's going for the ult there. Yep. Has to use the flash. All right. I don't know why it didn't stay on that clip. Okay, here we go. So I thought about this, Poppy, and I found a way, dude. All right. So here's the mistake with this play, Pavi. The ult was too soon. Now this is a 4 billion IQ thing, but I frame counted this, and this stun could have lasted like 0.5 more than it did before the second stun hit. So the second stun was actually not, it was too soon. And I also frame counted your auto attack, and you could have actually got one auto attack in before, like it's really tight, but you could get one auto attack in extra if your ult was a little bit delayed, and you still would have got through the you still would have got through the full stun. And in this situation, if you did that, you wouldn't have had to burn your flash. So there you go, Bobby. Funny enough, yes, I'm so happy. Dude, I watched that clip, Bobby, for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I don't know what to do. It's like, how do I improve this? All right, another bonus clip. We've got SBD Wolf, you know, some may have heard of him. Some may have said he's speedrun a game or two. So we'll go ahead and go over his clip. I believe he's in chat. So he submits the current world record for Rugged Ridge. 51 seconds. All right, so let's see some, you know, okay, this is some amateur, okay, really amateur beginner frame perfect clip there. All right, yeah. So he's just kind of dashing off screen there. Yeah, it's fine. He's just doing some basic navigation. You know, anybody can do this. This is some real beginner stuff. So to be honest, Wolf, I don't think you should submit to this because I think you're too much of a beginner. It would probably be better just to play the game a little bit more before submitting this style of clip. Yeah, this is just some real beginner level play. It's cute to see, but pretty decent time there. Yeah, just do a couple more attempts, like just to show an example of some of the unoptimal play here. Let's see here. Yeah, just a lot of mistakes all around, you know. Like right here, this is just an embarrassment, you know. Could have obviously cut this dash sooner. He moved way too right on this platform. He goes over here because of that mistake. You know, like right here. Could have dashed lower to the ground. He has to fall for an entire frame. He could have jumped there sooner. Look at that. There's 2 frames he was on the ground. He could have jumped for the first frame. And here, look at that standing still, just doing that. Like, he's just AFK at this point. He's not even trying. It's really an embarrassment. But, you know, I appreciate you submitting the clip. Just keep trying to play the game. And, oh, man, a retry there. That's hard. That's rough to see. Yeah, just good luck with your future. I'll make sure to play the stage a little bit more next. For real, this clip is completely insane. He actually, okay, that's a frame perfect clip, and he's actually navigating off screen through the masks that are still there while not being able to see it all. And then here you can barely see it all, and there's RNG flames going in circles that you have to predict. Really impressive stuff. There's nothing I could critique here. It's amazing. All right, that'll be it for the first dojo. Thank you all for watching. I will be, again, highlighting all this. And if you want to submit your own clips, feel free to join my Discord and post them in Grond's dojo. I also forgot to mention there is Waffles Twitch if you want to see his journey as he learns Hail Mary, and Sort of Alpha's Twitch. Both awesome dudes, great messenger runners. Fruity Waffles also a Cuphead runner. Really great guys. Highly recommend giving them a follow. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so with that, we're done.